Hey guys, meteorologist Doug Hetty. It is Thursday, January 23rd, so we are cruising right on through the work week. Of course, we've been kind of in the deep freeze since this past Saturday, but we're looking better. We got above freezing yesterday. It's still kind of cold today, but we are seeing some improvements as we go through the next few days. First off, huge shout out to my boys, Superior Roofing and Construction, a four-state premier roofing contractor. They're local to Joplin, Missouri, but they service all of Kansas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Missouri. So if you have roofing needs, give them a call. Numbers right there on the screen. Ask for Cole, Evan, or Carlos. So what we're going to do today is we're going to look a little bit long range, talk about what is going to happen in the four-state area, meaning Kansas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Missouri. And then, of course, take a look into the weekend. But on these videos, we try to kind of look a little bit more of what's going to happen down the road. When's our next big storm system and whatnot. Got my iced coffee. Actually, espresso. So I'm ready to roll. All right, so let's take a look at it. So, of course, we have a weak system this weekend. It's not going to do much for any of us, but it will produce some clouds and maybe a couple sprinkles, especially Oklahoma and Arkansas. Things really get rolling. We have a system late next week. We are going to warm up through the week, but we do have a system late next week that we'll keep our eyes on. We'll talk about that here in a second. And then things really kind of get going around February 5th. So that's just less than 2 weeks away. We get back into the active stretch of the pattern. I really think the first half of February overall is going to be fairly warm. So we're going to have a lot of rain chances, but we'll get back into the colder part of the pattern once we get to about Valentine's Day and after. And that will be our next big shot to get at least some bigger wintry weather. We can get it in the warmer part of the pattern, but that colder part of the pattern is just a little bit easier. All right, it's Thursday. New drought tracker always comes out, so let's take a look and see where we are after all the snow that the Central Plains has gotten over the past couple of weeks. We still are kind of dry from Wichita to Joplin, south of Oak City, and then a moderate drought on the north side of Kansas City, northern parts of Kansas, and then over towards Stockton Lake, and then over toward Lawton, Oklahoma. Besides that, most of us overall are looking pretty good. All right, here's the upper level flow. So you can still see the white line. So the closer they are together, that's where your jet stream is, your stronger winds. But the upper level flow is out of Canada, and that's why we've been so cold. But look how it retreats. So now going into tomorrow, our jet stream kind of cuts across the northern parts of the U.S., and things look better. So you can see a system moves across the Great Lakes. This is interesting. Watch this cutoff low. So we're looking at Sunday. So here's that little system for the weekend I was talking about. And then watch as we go to next week. Here's the jet stream way up through the Great Lakes. That's where the cold air is. And then it lifts into northern parts of Canada, western Canada, and on the bottom end, we get what is called a cutoff low. And the last cycle, we didn't see this, but 2 cycles ago, we did. Let me show it to you. So watch this cutoff flow. So just south of Denver. And then we go all the way back to November 9th. We're going to actually backtrack to November 8th. So very similar if you look at this. So you got your cutoff low and then what it did 2 cycles ago. This gave Colorado a big time storm. So usually in the cycling weather pattern, cycle 1 and 3 will mirror each other a little bit more, and then cycle 2 and 4 will mirror each other, and we do that all year long. If we jump long range just a little bit, so if we're looking at February, you can see that colder stretch. Remember I said right around Valentine's Day, that colder stretch, that third week. Let's go into March. March overall looks fairly warm. So the brighter the red days, that means days greater above average. And then you can see we get cold again at the end of March. Let's go into April. April's a cold start, but the second half looks good. Let's look at May. The middle of the month, kind of chilly, but then we warm up toward the end. Remember, this is the global predictor. You can go out 6 months. We can go out to June. We can go out to July. So just kind of taking a look at what is going to happen as we go through the next several months. All right, let's keep going. So late next week, this cutoff flow starts to kick in. As it does, we'll have to watch it. Should give us some rain, ice, or snow, depending on where you live. We'll see if this tracks south or tracks north. We just got to watch it as we go through next week. And then finally, by next weekend, look how the storm systems are starting to dip. into the western parts of the U.S. So we're getting out of this boring, what I call, we've been in about the past 10 days, the boring part of the pattern. But we get out of the boring part of the pattern and things start to look better. All right, we do have some clouds out there and there are some flurries kind of rotating through parts of Nebraska, Kansas. Not a big deal. Overall, it looks pretty good. Most of us are going to be fine as we go through today. All right, so the afternoon high still kind of chilly. 24 KC, 30 in Wichita, 45 in Fort Smith, West Plains up to about 37. As we go into Friday morning, it's going to be cold tonight. We're going to drop back to 14, Salina, 25 in Oklahoma City, Springfield 14-8 in Columbia, but it gets better. It gets kind of windy on Friday. We're going to have those southerly winds 30 to 35, so it'll make it feel a little bit colder than what it actually is, but we're going to warm up. We're going to go into the mid-40s, Joplin 43, 49, Tulsa 48, and Fort Smith, Kansas City up to 39 degrees. Here comes that weak system on Saturday. This means clouds will increase, so mostly cloudy skies for the entire four-state area as we go into Saturday. And by Saturday night, we could get a few showers. Eastern Oklahoma, western parts of Arkansas, mainly staying south of the I-44 corridor. But look at our highs on Saturday, looking pretty good, mainly into the upper 40s. And you can see those few random showers popping up as we get into Saturday evening. Again, no big storm systems as we go through, about the next week or so. We're going to watch that next system late next week and see exactly what happens. And then fingers crossed, well, if you're a weather lover, for more weather action as we get into the month of February. All right, guys, I hope you enjoy your Thursday, and we will chat tomorrow.